How you can consume 100 grams of protein if you are a vegetarian. The RDA states, the recommended daily allowance states that you need 0.8 grams per kilogram of your body weight. Now that requirement is for sedentary adults, but if you're active, you need double of that. You need at least 1.4 to 2 grams per kilogram of your body weight. So if you're 70 kilos, you need anything between 80 to 140 grams of high quality protein. Now for vegetarians, it can be tough, but in this video, I will break it down. I will give you the top vegetarian sources that when combined can take you towards the 100-gram mark. Here I'm assuming that you eat eggs. So let's get started. As you can see, raw dairy is dairy which comes from grass-fed cows and dairy which hasn't been pasteurized. Now this is a very controversial subject because on one side the experts who states that raw dairy might not be safe to consume, whereas on the other side some experts states that you're 100 times more likely to die from food poisoning from processed meats when compared to raw dairy. So at the end of this, in the description below, I've given you links to 2 authoritative articles that will give you all the facts if you want to know further. Anecdotally speaking, I've been consuming raw dairy since childhood, and till date I consume at least 1 liter or 35 ounces every single day, and I'm exceptionally healthy because of that. And numerous studies support the fact that the raw dairy is loaded with nutrients, and the first one is CLA. It's also called conjugated linoleic acid. Now this CLA is tied with cancer prevention, lowered inflammation, and healthier cholesterol levels. The next are the immunoglobulins, which you can find in the healthy fats portion of raw dairy. That's why I advise you to drink full fat dairy and avoid low fat dairy. Now, if I talk about kefir or buttermilk, which is commonly known as lassi in India, is just amazing. It has the highest probiotic content as compared to any other food in the world. Now, probiotics, as you know, is very, very important to maintain a good gut. It optimizes your healthy bacteria, and which is very important. Now some scientists are calling your gut as your second brain, so you're as healthy as your gut is. So probiotics are very important, and you can have them in lassi or yogurt, which comes from grass-fed raw dairy. However, all these benefits are not there in your pasteurized dairy. So I highly recommend that you find a source that can provide you with raw dairy. Now moving on, let's discuss about legumes. Legumes are one of the best plant source proteins for vegetarians. Legume consists of beans, chickpeas, and lentils. One large bowl of legumes will give you 20 grams of high quality proteins along with tons and tons of nutrients like iron, zinc, magnesium, phosphorus, vitamin B1, B3, B5, B6. It's a long list of nutrients, and therefore I highly recommend that you include legumes in your diet. Lentils, which is commonly known as dal, is of course one of the most prominent food items in our menu. And then you have beans, which are also called rajma, and then chole, which are called chickpeas. So try to include more than one bowl, and that will give you at least 20 to 30 grams of high quality protein every single day. So that was legumes. Now let's focus our attention towards almonds and walnuts, nuts. Now this is one of this food item is always in my travel bag. Whenever I'm traveling, I have at least this much of walnuts and almonds in my travel bag, because they are besides protein, they are very high in healthy fats, and they keep me full for a longer period of time. So so the urge to eat unhealthy item just doesn't come up. And so if you have around 20 almonds, which is approximately 1 ounce, and 5 walnuts in combined will give you at least 10 grams of high quality protein. So that was all almonds and walnuts. You can of course crush them and include them in your smoothies if you just don't like having them as it is, and make sure that they are unsalted. Okay, so that will take care of your sodium intake. Next are the vegetables. You'll be surprised to hear that broccoli as a dry matter is 34% protein, and 1 cup of broccoli will give you approximately 5 grams of protein. It's the same with spinach. Spinach will give you 6 grams of protein per cup. Now it's almost impossible to consume so much of vegetables that we have already discussed in the previous video, so the best thing is to juice them. A large glass of vegetable juice will give you 15 grams of protein. Moving on, not many experts will agree with me on including vegetables and other carb sources as your in the total protein count, but honestly they do count. For example, if you are having 2000 calories and then 1000 calories are coming from your carb sources, that is approximately 250 grams. So if you're having whole wheat bread, if you're having sweet potatoes, brown rice, of course they consume carbs, but they consume some amount of protein as well. So 250 grams of carbohydrates will give you around 15-20 grams of additional proteins. So make sure that you include these when you trying to total up your protein content for the day. And then of course we have the whole eggs. Whole eggs are just amazing, and I have been having, if I average out my whole egg consumption in the last 1 decade, it won't be an exaggeration that I've been consuming 3 whole eggs every single day. 3 whole eggs every single day. Now I know most of you are scared of consuming that many eggs, especially the yellow part, because of the cholesterol issue. That is all a myth. I don't have time to discuss that in this video, and it won't give justice, and I would rather make a separate video to tell you that consuming whole eggs doesn't raise your serum cholesterol level. It does not. Whole eggs is one of the healthiest food items that you can ever have. It contains all 13 vitamins and minerals in varying amounts, and one of the most important nutrient is choline in that. Choline is very important nutrient, and it's essential for brain development and growth. It's essential to lower your inflammation level, and it is linked with reducing your cancer rate as well. So choline is very important, and you can get that. An egg is one of the biggest sources of that. So when you total all these food items, it will give you 119 grams of protein, and I haven't even discussed about protein supplements. Now I do agree that it looks good on the paper, and if you have these items you will actually cross 100 grams, but reality is a bit different. Life is messy, right? So say for example, one day you get up and you're trying to make your breakfast, and you open up your fridge, there are no eggs, right? And then you end up eating buttered toast as a result. Now when you eat that buttered toast, after 2 hours your blood sugar drops, and you start to have cravings. And coincidentally, your colleague, it's your colleague's birthday that day, and she forces you to eat a donut. So the whole day spirals into one bad day of eating. That's where protein supplements comes into the picture. In situations like where there are no eggs in the fridge, or where you don't have time to cook your breakfast, All you have to do is take out your blender, put some raw dairy in it, put some chia seeds, flax seeds, avocados, and 1 or 2 scoops of your protein, and you're set for the day. This is an entire meal, and you won't crave bad foods, unhealthy items, at least for 5 to 6 hours. That's what a protein supplement can do for you. So if you have the budget, and I would highly recommend that you include at least 1 or 2 scoops few times a week. So that's for the protein supplement. It acts as a convenience, and there is absolutely no difference between consuming protein from whole food source and from protein supplements. Of course, the former is much better, but protein supplements is it comes in handy, especially when you don't have time to cook or when you are traveling. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned.